Hello, it's Devora Steinberg from Genesis Therapy and Coaching. How are you today? I am going to talk to you about a topic that I work with a lot of people on, and that's about anxiety. And I want to just say right up front that anxiety is something that we all have. This is not something that is pathological, something that is diagnosable, although it can be, certainly. This is just the human condition. Anxiety is manifested in the emotional, the psychological, and the somatic, the body-oriented gathering of symptoms when something is feeling uncertain, we feel afraid, we feel out of control. Depending on how much that is, of course, the amount of anxiety can be more or less. But let's talk about an example. You may feel anxious about a presentation that you're going to give, or having a difficult conversation with somebody that you know you're about to have, or something that feels challenging for you. You are about to study for an exam or take an exam. So when you're put into a situation where you're not feeling comfortable, where you're not necessarily in control of what the outcome will be or the other person's response will be, or when you are feeling like something is perhaps just a little bit above your head, a little bit above your ability, those are certainly experiences of anxiety. So what you can do about that is, first of all, acknowledge, and this is something that seems very simple but is really, really hard for a lot of people, is just acknowledge, I am feeling anxious. And this can be incredibly hard when some of the more severe anxiety symptoms can be a racing heart, can be sweaty palms, can be inability to focus. But any of those triggers, any of those things that you are thinking about or feeling or you're sensing in your body can indicate that you're feeling anxious. It's a good time to just simply notice. This is why meditation and mindfulness are such incredible practices, is you begin to develop the ability, as I've been talking about in my meditation teaching, to have what is called the witness, some part of yourself that can observe and identify your experience beyond just being completely absorbed in the experience, which can be a very, very helpful and very powerful when you're feeling like you're overwhelmed. Anxiety can often feel like you're drowning, and people actually show up. Many, many people show up in the emergency room every single day with anxiety because they truly think they're having a heart attack. And let me say that in the most severe experiences of anxiety, it can feel exactly like a heart attack. You can feel that sense of clenching, that sense of being unable to breathe. And, that can be on the severe end of a panic attack or, great anxiety. And on the smaller anxiety, we can just call it general nervousness or a general anticipation for something. So being aware of what you are feeling, being aware of what you're thinking, and especially noticing that really intense connection between the thoughts, the feelings, and the body, which I call the somatic sensations or the body sensations, which would be sweaty palms, racing heart, clenching in your chest, clenching in your stomach, a feeling like you're choking, really tense on your neck and shoulders. These kinds of physical sensations are an incredible tool, almost like a neon sign flashing and saying, something is wrong, alert, 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 because something is wrong. Look, your body doesn't know the difference. Your mind doesn't know the difference if you're actually in threat or if you're having a perceived threat. It is the same exact experience. And that's where the fight or flight comes from. That sense of anxiety is that sense of something is out of control or something is threatening to me. And it's really important that you feel like you have something to do, especially noticing it, particularly witnessing that experience that is happening, and then changing something in your physical self can certainly snap you out. A very, very simple technique can be just tapping on your on cheeks, tapping on your chest, alternatively tapping on the thighs, which is a treatment called EMDR that is much more advanced than just a simple tapping, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. But that bilateral stimulation by tapping back and forth can be soothing and can also be distracting and can process the feelings. And doing any kind of movement. If you know me at all, you know that I'm all about the body and all about the movement. So taking deep breaths, doing any kind of movement. It can be standing up and sitting down a few times. It can be taking a quick stroll and moving your body, particularly in ways that you don't normally move your body. And oftentimes things like reaching or bringing arms up or bending over or bringing knees to chest, things that you don't normally do in your day-to-day movements can really break that cycle of anxiety. And notice when you change something very small in your body, that feedback loop, that message goes to your mind that something has changed, and it can break that cycle. Anxiety can be a lot like feeling, like I said, a heart attack, but a lot like feeling like you're caught in a whirlpool or a hurricane. And if you are anxious in particular this time of year because you've got a lot to do for holidays, for holiday preparation, just remember that we mammals really like to pull in. You know, if you live in the northern hemisphere and it's a little darker and a little cooler this time of year, that's an indication for most mammals to sort of slow down and pull in and get ready for hibernation or some semi-hibernation, you know, gathering food and pulling in and warming up for the winter. And oftentimes this time of year, we're doing just the opposite of that. So I encourage you to take pauses. I encourage you to move your body a little more. And in particular, watch the alcohol, the sugar, and the caffeine that you're ingesting, which can all be increased this time of year and can definitely not help with the anxiety. If you'd like some more information about coping with the holidays, you can get my free tip sheet on 5 ways to manage your stress, especially with family holidays coming up. And I look forward to having an opportunity to share ways of coping. It is my absolute dedication to helping you improve the quality of your life, help you manage whatever you're struggling with, and help you get from where you are to where you want to be. Look forward to talking to you soon, and thanks for being with me today. Bye-bye.